Hello, my name is Ilona and I'm hoping I'll succeed with this video. There was a lot of noise around my house. I have a painter right now. I rent a really teeny tiny house. I'm very happy with it. But the corporation I rented from decided that they wanted everything painted again. So I have, I said, a lot of noise around my house right now. So I hope everything will work out. This is a recap of my Dutch video. And I started with information about the Prime Minister in Great Britain, Boris Johnson. Two of his ministers, the Minister of Finances and the Health Minister, resigned out of protest of his leadership. So there's a lot going on there in Great Britain. And in Australia, it's just getting crazy because the Health Minister of the New South Wales, Brad Hazard, what's in a name, Mr. Hazard, decided that if people do not have did not get stinked for 3 times, that they are absolutely crazy. So they are laying it on thick in Australia right now. Also, my heart goes out to everyone that has to do with the flooding that's happening in Australia. So I hope everything is all right and with all your loved ones. My heart goes out to you. Other news from Vigilant Fox, this is a Telegram channel, that the whole narrative is crumbling as the Wall Street Journal sounds off on the FDA. They've published an article from July 4th that's kind of why the rush for the toddler wasp sting. So that's very interesting. So the urgency now feels political. I couldn't read it completely because you have to subscribe. But this is very interesting. In fact, we don't know if the wasp stings are safe and effective. The rushed FDA action was based on extremely weak evidence. So this is the Wall Street Journal mentioning it. Also through Biocladiston, also a Telegram channel, mentioned an article in Bloomberg News that the US ambassador urges China to stop spreading Russian lies. Ambassador Burns reiterates no US bioweapons labs in the Ukraine. So that's interesting that apparently Russia and China are on the same page about that. Something else that was very interesting, breaking, Langlade, I hope I pronounced it correctly, County, Wisconsin joined Texas and Maricopa County, Arizona to ununanimously reject the result of 2020. So that's November 2020. They reject the results and they urge all remaining counties to pass similar resolutions. So this is very, very interesting what's happening there. Of course, in the Netherlands, things are happening with the farmers. You can pretty much see it everywhere in all the Telegram channels all around the world. They closed down distribution centers, so the supermarkets couldn't be supplied. And they did that in a very good way of distracting things. They actually mentioned they were going to close up the airport, Schiphol in the Netherlands. But they really didn't do that. They actually went to all these distribution centers. The fishermen actually closed off port around the Netherlands. So this was really a cooperation between fishermen and between the farmers. And I believe some truckers were involved in this as well, just to close down things. And I'm sure people have seen videos, clips about that, but also that the police really responded in a very aggressive way. There is a clip of Romeos, that's what undercover cops are called in the Netherlands. They pretend to be part of the farmers and start escalating things. They are supposed to keep order, but that's not what they're doing. They escalate things, they are very aggressive. And you can see in this clip that the farmers found out that these Romeos were there and actually chased them back to their van, so they took off. But I had to kind of smile at that, because if you look at those Romeos, they were all wearing this. They were all wearing masks, so to make sure that people wouldn't recognize them. But the farmers aren't wearing any masks, so yeah, you're going to be spotted very soon. Anyway, so we've had that. So we had videos of the Romeo, so to speak. But there's also been shots fired yesterday in Heerenveen. So, and it was directed at a farmer. In the media, they trying to make it seem like this farmer was actually trying to drive towards the police. I've seen some clips and that's not what I'm seeing. So of course they need to investigate this. They're talking about this. Politicians have reacted that this is horrible, because in the Netherlands there are not a lot of people that have weapons. It's not like in America. Of course, the dark energies made sure that we don't have that right to carry weapons. So only a few people, and farmers don't carry them. Most farmers don't carry them. So it's very strange that they really aimed at a farmer. Nothing happened, luckily. But they're going to investigate this, and I actually did a reading about this as well. But the first reading was about the actions of what's going on with the farmers. First card was the Eight of Wands. The central card is the King of Cups. The card in the past is the Page of Pentacles. Then we have underneath the central card the Page of Swords. And very interestingly, we have another Page of Wands for the future and the Three of Cups. So to me it feels like, and I also want to mention, because I sometimes read things in the Truthful community that they think that the farmers don't completely understand what's going on. I'm sure there are farmers that do not have the entire picture, but there are a lot of farmers who know exactly what is going on, who know about the Agenda 2030, who know about, they know what Klaus wants. They know what's really going on, and they just want to get rid of all these farmers so they can take in their land, build all kinds of things, and take over the food production. Because that's the easiest way to keep people weak, by feeding them and by having full control of what people eat. So there is so much at stake, and a lot of farmers understand fully what's going on. They have what we call a boerenverstand, or common sense. They know what's going on. You don't need a degree for that. And I know a lot of people with university degrees who really got all their wasp stings. I believe they even got their fourth wasp sting, and do not question anything. It has nothing to do with intelligence, whether someone has studied or not. To be very honest, I sometimes have the feeling that the more someone studies, the less intelligent they are actually. But I don't know, there's just so much brainwashing going on then. But of course you have a lot of people that have university degrees and know exactly what's going on as well. So it's very important to understand that a lot of farmers know what's going on. They're not just going to give up. I got this card of the Eight of Wands, so there's more actions coming. They have more planned. They're not just going to give up, that if in The Hague they might just say, well, we're not going to do this policy anymore. Trust me, it's not like the farmers will suddenly stop and like, oh, well, everything is all right now. There is more going on. They understand that there's more going on. But this is not just about The Hague. This is not just about the Netherlands. This is about our soul. This is a spiritual war. So the King of Cups is very important, that we step into our energy. And if people are working with these actions or want to support them, or start actions, it's very important that they really get in touch with their energies, with their emotions, with their shadow side, so they don't have this lower frequency. If you are doing these actions because you intuitively feel this is the right thing, and let's face it, a lot of farmers are there because it's their family, it's their livelihood, it's a farm, it's been in generations in their family. This is what they are about, and it's so important that they remain. And the food supply, it's so important. And if you stand from that energy, from the intuitive feeling like, I'm here to really support humanity, that is very, very powerful, and they won't be able to provoke you. They won't be able to, the dark energies, to tap into lower frequencies. But if you are very frustrated and angry and you have all these negative emotions, please deal with them. Emotionally deal with them. It's so important, because that's the energy you are sending out, and then you will have a reaction accordingly. But if you are in your full power and really stand there with, and a lot of farmers are. It's about their livelihood. It's about the heart for humanity. It's about feeding people. It's about their families, about their core values. That is an incredible, powerful energy. And they won't be able to twist and turn that energy. So that's very important. More and more information is going to come out. Of course, I've already mentioned about the Romeos. That's now seen all around the world, what's really going on. Of course, in other parts of the world, they have other organizations and other groups that create havoc, that create panic, that create, this disorganization and purposely want to escalate things. But it's interesting for people to see. And this is what we're heading. This is the future. So I think there is white hats influences there. It's about bringing people together and celebration. So I ultimately think that it will work out. But this is so important, bringing people together, bringing that energy together, because this is a spiritual war. And of course, the light has won, but it's up to us to bring in that energy and to really step into our authority and not expect things outside of ourselves or look outside of ourselves for things to happen. Because I don't think there are a lot of things going to happen in The Hague. And I'm sure some puppets may fall, but then there will be other puppets. Because the energies has to be taken care of at a global scale. It has to be taken care of spiritually. They really have to be taken care of on so many levels that just The Hague. I understand a lot of people are completely focused on The Hague. We have to get rid of the Prime Minister. We have to get rid of all these people there. This is about something so much bigger than this, because even if it happens in the Netherlands, still a lot of countries around us still have dark energy. So it's not like we're going to solve a lot of things. We're still stuck with this energy. And as long as those dark energies are still present and those puppets are still there, new puppets will be brought in. I do believe that the white hats are working very, very hard to make sure that they will take care of that part. And it's up to us to stand up for ourselves and not tolerate this anymore. That's what we are here to do, to step into our authority and not place our authority or our powers in somebody else's hands. It's time to take that back. So I see this as very positive, and like I've mentioned before, I believe there'll be more actions. I don't think they're finished at all. So there's a lot going on there, and ultimately it will result in positive things. I think it's about connecting. Like I said, do not look to The Hague too much, like that's going to happen or things going to happen there. This is about the energy, the change of energy. I also looked at the shooting. Apparently a farmer was shot at. Luckily no one got hurt, but it was a very strange situation. And like I've mentioned, the media is now saying that the farmer was trying to drive into the police. So they were threatened, and I've seen some footage. I couldn't see it. So I'm sure there's going to be an investigation. There are a lot of people in a lot of politicians right now who are like acting in disgust, like what's going on? Why is a policeman shooting at a farmer who obviously doesn't have weapons? Although they want to make sure that, in the media, that his vehicle was some kind of weapon. But like I've mentioned, I didn't see it that way. I'm sure they're going to investigate. But the cards I got for this was the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, that's the central card. We've got the Queen of Swords in the past. We have the King of Swords underneath the 8 of Swords. And we have for the future the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. I'm sorry about that. And the 8 of Cups. So the 2 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. This is about balancing things. I think the policeman acted out of some negative emotion. So it's possible that the dark had his hands on him, or he was just wasn't even aware that that's what happening. He probably felt threatened in some way and shot at the farmer. So this is about pain. This is about showing how police have been acting. I've mentioned it in my Dutch video. There are a lot of people in the police working who do not support this, who are very against what's going on, the policies, how they have to react towards this, and they're speaking out, luckily. So more and more people are speaking out. So I just want to mention that not everyone in the police feels this way, but there are dark energies in the police organization, especially at the top, that obviously have their policies and want to roll out their agenda of chaos, escalating, wanting to put people in their place, want to make sure that the farmers look as awful as possible, to make sure of course, the people in the Netherlands will turn against them. That's their usual technique. It's not going to happen. I fully support the farmers, and a lot of people fully understand what is going on, at least support the farmers. So I think that this will be looked at. They will investigate this, and this is a card of balance. I see this card as the minor arcana card of the Justice card. So this is about balancing things, looking at it objectively, and probably more criticism will be aimed at the police of why are they handling this. This has happened before. We have had other actions where they were just acting so aggressively with so much force. It was just insane how they were responding to just people just, you know, speaking their minds and saying things and just disagreeing with the government. And they even brought in foreigners and just a certain group of policemen, I'm not sure, certain units that were just so aggressive. So this will bring up more discussion about this. This is about balancing things. That's the Two of Pentacles as well. And walking away from these systems. I don't think people want to deal with this anymore. I think a lot of people in the police, like I've mentioned before, are really sick and tired of this, of these policies. And I think it's about bringing it to light, showing the dark energies, showing what's going on, also in the police force, in the politics, just showing everything. This is about bringing it to light. So that's the feeling I'm getting from this. I think things will be, there will be an investigation, and I think there will be criticism on the police for handling certain situations. I think more and more will come out, and more truths will come out. So I want to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.